Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This shir is entitled Parshat Ki Taizaih, the marriage Parsha. Sometimes people make a joke. I don't think it's a funny joke at all. Regarding the order of the Mishnayot. Gittin is before Kedushin. So sometimes people joke that you want to have the trufah before the makkah. You want to have the pill, the remedy, before the illness. So again, the joke goes, is considered the pill, the remedy, and Kedushin, marriage, is considered the illness. It's not a funny joke, and I think it's a destructive one. And anyone hears it, it just gives a bad image of marriage, especially to people in the early years of marriage or pre-marriage. To even joke about such a thing, I think is horrible. You look in the Parsha, Breshit, they should become one, where the Ramban says that they have a special bond, a husband and a wife, to each other, where there's a closeness and a desire to always be with each other, not only in the courtship times where it's a fantasy to be together, but even after years of marriage, and especially after years of marriage, there's a desire and a longing to be close with each other in a physical and a psychological, in a genuine and true manner. And that's the Torah's attitude towards marriage. Yet, when one looks at Parshat Ki Taizaih, there's probably more references to marriage than any other Parsha in the Torah. And most of the references are pretty lousy, which gets us back to the joke that people make. And the question is, why is it so negative? It starts off in the very beginning. If you don't like her, you send her away. But do it in an appropriate way, not in a demeaning way. So one could say, okay, that's referring to Yifat Torah. He married her in a state of fantasy, then it's no surprise that marriage doesn't work out. Then it talks about a man married to two women, one who he hates, one who he loves. And how do the halachas of the Yerush inheritance work out? You have to make sure that you give the child who's born first, even if he is from the hated wife, you give him the inheritance first. So it's sad. The Torah openly talks about the man hating his wife. A few Pesukim later, he talks about a person marries a woman and hates her. And then he thinks that she actually was involved in an adulterous affair in between the engagement, the Erusin, and the marriage. And he goes and challenges her in court. The Torah goes on and talks about a woman who is sleeping with another individual and she's married, adultery. So not a lot of marital bliss in this parsha. And then goes on, talks about divorce. He marries a woman and Lotim Zachim Benav Kimatz Be'ervadav, finds that something's wrong with her. She's not acting appropriately like a Jewish woman should act. So he divorces her. So not a nice pattern going on here regarding marriage. And it's almost a bit bleak until Baruch Hashem, we reach Shishi. Finally in Shishi, Kikach Ish, Isha, Chadasha, Lo Yitzei B'Tzavah. He doesn't go out to the tzavah, to the army, and he doesn't get involved in many obligations that others would be involved in. V'simach et ishto shelakach lo. Instead, he's focused on developing the relationship with his wife. For a full year, he's exempt from many of these mitzvot. So that is, to me, the quotient to a happy marriage. If a person gets married based on pure fantasy, or married just somehow assuming it's all going to work out, and just like they're attracted so much in the courting stage, so that's just going to somehow continue and everything's going to be great. No. The Torah gives us the answer over here in Shishi. For one full year, dedicated to building the relationship. And chas v'shalom to think that that's it. Worked on the marriage for the year, now we're good to go. No. That's just the beginning to develop the relationship. Then, of course, throughout the next 120 years, the relationship always has to be one where they are working together. And if it's a relationship where we're working together and discussing and communicating with each other and talking about each other's dreams and aspirations and challenges and differences, but the key is they're working together and they're using the first year as the model for all the years of a relationship, then, and I think only then, can you really go back to the pasuk in Breshit. Davak devik lu, he'll be close with his wife, Vahayu levasar echad, and then they could become one. So I don't think Ki Taizaih is trying to paint a bleak picture of marriage. I think it's painting a realistic picture of marriage, where it shows a lot of failed marriages, and then it gives you the one recipe for successful marriage, where it's work, healthy work, good work, positive work, happy work, and then that could result in a marriage of true closeness, of a genuine love and commitment to each other. Shalom.